What is up, good people of the old interwebs? I am Dope, your idiot leader, and this is Dope Comics on my YouTube channel. And today I'm spaced out. I'm a thinker. I'm always putting stuff in categories. I'm always ranking stuff. I guess that's why I have like 900 videos in over 2 years on YouTube. Been over on YouTube for over 2 years, and somehow I've done 900 videos already. It's crazy, and when I stop to think about it, that's a lot of videos. But anyway, I'm always ranking stuff, and today I was sitting around thinking about the people in California that's lost everything, and how many comic book collections are lost. I know comic books don't matter. What matters is religion, health, family, stuff like that. Comic books come and go. It's just paper. It really don't mean nothing to me. I know it's hard. It's sacrilegious to say that on a comic channel, but all that really matters is your family, your health, and your religion. But everything else can be replaced. But, I was thinking of all the comic books that were lost. And if I could only take 10 or 15 comic books, what 10 or 15 comic books would I take from my collection if I was running out the door with a wildfire? So today I'm going to be showing you those 10 to 15 comic books I would take if there was a wildfire and I was to run out the door. So nothing left to do but do it. So let's get to it and start crackulating. So in no particular order, I'm just going to start grabbing books. A book that means something to me. Shock and Suspense number 6. Shock and Suspense number 6. Classic cover. Book cost a fortune if you to find one these days. I don't think I'll ever be able to get my hands on another. I'm happy to have this one. People get this book, they don't let it go. Not all the books in my collection are my most expensive books. Some of the things I was thinking about is how hard would they be to replace. And, there's certain books on the internet like ASM 300 or Hulk 181 where there's thousands of them. Then there's other books that's very hard to replace. And it's not nothing to do with money. It's just to do with demand and how many's out there. And this book is hard to replace. I love this book. This is Shock and Suspense number 6. I'm a horror guy, and this is one of the greatest horror covers of all time. And it's EC, which we all love. So that would be one book. Another book that I would take would be this Amazing Spider-Man number 1. I've never really wanted Amazing Fantasy 15. I've never really wanted that. I've always been wanting this. As a kid, I wanted 1 through 100. It's got all the villains in it. I'm a villain guy. And this was always the grail growing up. Actually, it was 129. I was a Punisher fan. And SM 50, which was the first Kingpin. And this was always the holy grail that cost so much money to me. I saved. I know what I had to do to work to get this. I got this. This belonged to 2 brothers named Max and Charlie. They put it in a yard sale in Cleveland, and they sold it for $1.25. If you see underneath his armpit, it was $1.25 at a yard sale. And I am the 3rd owner of this book. I bought it from the old man that bought this book for $1.25. And I had to pay more than $1.25 for it. But anyway, love this book. Had this book, and part of it is really what you have to do to get a book, how much you have to work, how hard you have to save, and you know how hard it is to get. And this book made my top 15 list on books I would take if I was running out the door. So, next, some things on the list is not about money. It's about how much you love a character and how much you love the story. And if you know me, you know my 2 favorite people is Hulk and Ghost Rider. And this is my Marvel Spotlight number 5 in a 5.0. I could replace this quite easily with another Marvel Spotlight 5.0. They're everywhere. But you always remember your first. And there's no replacing your first. I know how excited I was when I got this book. I love this book. It's black. Even if I got a Ghost Rider 9.0, if it came down to it, I would sell the 9.0 before I'd sell my copy of my first. I'm not a grade snob. This is the copy, was my first. This is the one I love. This is my copy. And I plan on holding on to it till the day I die. Next, grabbing random books. What about? Let's go with raw copy. What about Superman 4? Superman 4, the second appearance of the bald-headed guy. His name escapes my mind right now. Lex Luthor. Second appearance of Lex Luthor. This right here was very hard for me to get. This came out of a Texas collection. This was an old man that had Superman 1 through 100. When I got there, he was already promised 1, 2, and 3 to somebody. So the lowest number I could get from him was 4. And I love how hard I had to work to get this book. I had to negotiate with the guy. I had to talk to the guy. I don't know if that's his name right there or where he got the book from, but he had this book, I mean, for 30, 40, 50 years, I guess. I mean, he was an old man, and this was his original copy, and I don't know if he bought it off the shelf or not, but this book here means a lot to me. This is Superman number 4. I love the old S. So I thought that was pretty cool. And speaking of the Texas collection, I might as well just go ahead and show you this. I also got Batman number 4 from him. 1, 2, and 3 was already promised out to the same goon that bought the Superman 1, 2, and 3. I was able to pick up both number 4s. The lowest numbers he had. I really like collecting Batman and Superman single-digit books. I have a lot of them. But these are my favorite. In this book, this is the 4th appearance of the Joker, which is one of my favorite characters with Ghost Rider and Hulk. Definitely my favorite DC character. In this book is the first mention of the Hacienda. And it's also the first mention ever of Gotham. So if you think about the Gotham TV show or how many times you've heard the word Gotham City in all the books, the very first time it was ever mentioned was in this book right here. This is Batman number 4. So that's a cool book. We're running through them quick. This right here, this made the collection because I can never replace it. This right here is my favorite character, Hulk 345. And it's got 7 of the greatest writers, artists of all time to deal with comics on the same book. And 5 of these guys are dead already. But these guys are responsible for creating everybody. I mean, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk, Wolverine, X-Men, Ghost Rider, everybody that has anything to do with anybody. I mean, we've got Herb Trimpe right here. You know, Herb is the guy that drew the cover to the iconic Hulk 181. Stan Lee, you know what all he's done. He's created Fantastic Four, Hulk, X-Men, all that kind of stuff. Todd McFarlane, has anybody done anything bigger in comics the last 40 years than Todd McFarlane? Creator of Venom, creator of the Black Suit Spider-Man, creator of Spawn. Amazing dude. Len Wein, right there. He's the man. You all know him from Swamp Thing and stuff. John Romita, think about everything he's done. Co-creator of The Punisher. We've got Jerry Conway over here, the other co-creator of The Punisher, and many more. We've got Dick Ayers down here. You know Dick Ayers from creating the original Ghost Rider, and he also drew the covers to like Hulk 4 and 5 and so many other things. These guys have created everybody you can think of. A lot of the X-Men, even the newer X-Men like Storm, stuff like that. These guys created anybody that you can think of has created just about anything from, Man-Thing, Swamp Thing. They're all on here. This book right here, 5 of 7 of them's dead, and the other 2 is Jerry Conway and Todd McFarlane. So, you name them, they're on here. I can never replace this book, so I'd have to keep this book. This is Hulk 345 and a 9.4. What else do we got over here? Another one of my favorite horror books of all time. This is Witchcraft 5. Witchcraft 5 is a beautiful book. This was a painted cover by Kelly Fries. You can see beautiful redhead in distress, wearing a red dress. The green really works for this. We got this green goblin. We got this green cover, 3.5, bones everywhere. And the thing about this cover really means a lot to me for a lot of reasons. This book means a lot to me. Roger, if y'all know Roger, Metarog, I love Metarog. He's one of the, if I was doing a Mount Rushmore of people from comics, Roger's the first guy I would put on there. And me and him share this book. We both have this book. We have a little collection. It's one thing that drew us together and it built our friendship. And we talked about this book a lot, and it's made me and him have a strong bond. And this book, he has a copy, I have a copy. It's the main thing that's started our friendship. It's what broke the ice. And since then, I purchased some original Kelly Freas artwork, and I sent it to Metarog. And he has some original Kelly Freas artwork, the guy that did this cover, that I A-okayed him. So I want to think that part of our friendship was because of this book, and we're part of the Richcraft 5 crew. So that's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite covers of all time. Earlier I was talking about iconic books when I was a kid. I believed if I got this book as a kid, this was my holy grail. This was the book that meant everything to me. This was the book. I could have got this in a lot higher grade, but at the time I wanted this one, and I still want this one over a high grade because I'm not a grade snob. But this one here has John Romita, Jerry Calloway, and right there is Stan Lee, that big scrabble. But like I said, Romita, Lee, they've both passed on. Jerry Conway's the only one still alive. But I could not replace this book, and you always remember your first. I wouldn't want to replace this book. This is my copy of all copies of 129. This is my copy, and it is a 4.0, and it's beautiful, and I love this book. I believed when I got that book that my hunt was over, and of course you find out that there's other things you want, and the hunt continues. Next, let's see what we have here. My favorite character of all time, we have a Hulk number 2. This is very, very important to me because this is the first Green Hulk. And getting this book, you always find this book, but this book was very important. I was very picky about the copy I wanted. I'm not a grade snob, but the only thing I really hate is a faded cover. And usually the first color of the fade is red. So when you find these, this is usually pink, and Hulk is not green on the cover. It's faded. And the most important part about this book, the reason this book's so iconic, this is issue 2. This is the first appearance of the Green Hulk. So I really wanted him to be green on the cover, not faded. And I really wanted Hulk to pop up here in red like it's supposed to. So I really looked hard to find a nice copy where Hulk was green and Hulk was red. So this is my Hulk number 2 going against the Toadmen. I love it. I love the first 6 issues. I have a trade where I read all the time, and there's nothing like the first 6 issues. They're corny, they're cool. It's so much rich history involved in how far. The thing I love about Hulk, it's an ongoing story. I mean, yeah, it started, back in the early 60s, but to me it's evolved, and it's the whole evolve of the story. It ain't just one issue. It's from the first Hulk to now, how much he's changed, how many times he's been hit with Gamma, how big he's got, how the character has evolved over the years. And they're still fine-tuning him, even after all these years, but I think they finally got it down to where it's amazing. And it's funny to go back and look where it first came from. Next, I'm going to show you 3 books back to back to back. These books, people like to sub-collect. I like to sub-collect. You make up stuff in your mind. You're like, well, I like all of this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to collect issues 2, 5, 7, and 9. They're all the covers with girls blowing bubbles on them or whatever. You just make up some kind of sub-collect. You collect the way you want to collect. And one of the things that I was fond of as an early kid and growing up was the yellow cover Supermans. And they're all low digits. They're 6, 9, and 11. This is my favorite. This is number 6. It is a beautiful book. Number 6 and a 2.5. Very, very great book to me. I love this book. And I also have issues I'm fixing to show next. So 6, I'll show them all in a row because they all kind of go together as one collection to me. 6, this is number 9. Another beautiful book. And this one I got for Christmas from one of my kids. Probably when they were little. 2021, as you can see. There's our 2 cats. And there's me and my wife, and there's my daughter and my son, and there's the stockings over the fireplace. And I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. Have a good Christmas, is what it says on it. And this is number 9. So it's very important to me. And the last one is issue 11, which is the iconic Breaking the Chains cover. Went on later to be redone many times. There's many covers where he's breaking the chains, but this is the original. This is number 11. I love these 3 yellow covers. One year, it just took me all year, but I saved and I collected all the yellow covers. I wanted every yellow cover, so they all go good. They look nice as a set. All the yellow covers. Really cool. If anything happens to me, I would like, my wife could sell every book I have, but I wish they would all just keep one of these to remember me by. Maybe like number 6, give it to my wife. Her birthday's June 6th. My daughter can have the second one, which is right here because she's the oldest. And she's studying to be a nurse, and I would tell her just to keep on doing her thing and break through all the stuff and just keep fighting just like the cover shows, and keep doing your thing, and you'll get there and you'll be a nurse one day. And then my son has diabetes, and maybe the chains represent diabetes, and he's breaking through the chains. And keep this book and just live your life to the fullest. Live every day as your best day and break through the chains and enjoy life, because you only got one life and you only got so many days. So make every day your best day. We're down to 3 books. They're in no particular order. Here's the Batman number 6. Love this book. I had to save a long time to get this book. It's in really nice shape compared to the Batman 4 I showed you earlier. But very similar. Red covers, moon behind them. Great stuff. This book came out of Florida. I had to do a lot of stuff to convince an old man to sell me this book. He wanted to make sure it was going to a good home, and he didn't care about the money. And I still got it if you're watching. Got 2 books left. This is my favorite pre-code horror book of all time. This is Beyond number 1. It's a classic werewolf cover. Look at them nails. Look at them beautiful bloodshot eyes. This is the second highest copy of all time. The highest copy is a 7.0. This is a 6.5, but it's also pedigree. So I like it better than the 7.0 because it's a pedigree. It has the history. As you can see, look how beautiful and black it is. Look how them colors pop. Look at the detail on that werewolf. This is my favorite pre-code horror book of all time. This is Beyond 1, and I absolutely love it. And the last book I grabbed before there's a fire, there's no doubt. If you've watched this channel, the last 2 years I've had a channel, you know that over a year I had the Hulkometer, and I was saving for this book. And I saved and saved and saved. This is my Christmas money for a year. This is my birthday money for a year. This is my Father's Day money for a year. This is my bonus at my work for a year. This is my raise at work for a year. This is just saving and saving. Working in a steel bay. Working for a steel company in Tennessee. It's hard work. And the things I had to do to get this book. This is my number 1 book. And this is the main book I would grab if the house was on fire. It's my favorite character. It's my favorite story. It's the book that I've had to work the hardest to get. It's the book I never thought I'd own. And this is my favorite book in the world. It is my holy grail. There's no book I'd rather have in the world. I wouldn't. It's not about money to me, so I wouldn't trade a Hulk number 1 for a Superman number 1. I wouldn't trade a Hulk number 1 for anything. A Batman number 1. People's like, but you're so stupid, you idiot. You could go and sell it and buy 4 Hulks. I've never sold a comic book in my life. I'm not interested in selling comic books. I don't make my living in comic books. I'm not a comic book dealer. I like to read comic books. But we're under 20 minutes, and I just want to get your gears turning. And what would you, let me know in the comments down below, What is the 1 or 2 books you would save if your house was on fire? What's your book that you got that you can't replace? If you like things like this, just hit the little sub up button, hit the little like button, hell, hit the dislike button. It helps me too. I don't care. Just help get the word out. I just want to talk to people. That's why I'm on here. Just let me know in the comments what you think about the video, what you think about anything. And until the next time, keep it weird and read your comics.